Okay, that's to talk about it and focus. It's a little tricky, but you get the idea. I'm sure that the gather is inhale, release is exhale. Now, of course, my lungs, I cannot breathe using my qua. My dantian, we all talk about dantian breathing all the time. So it's very important that you breathe using diaphragmatic dantian breathing. And you see the dantian is connected to the qua. So when you do either breathing, into one hip or breathing into your dantian, you'll be accomplishing the same goal. But I think that you'll find it to be very energetic and very wonderful. Let's do one more little idea as we go through the form from the back once again to go through. And let's just talk about the hips opening and closing. Now, it's the same kind of thing. As we gather, the hips fold, the energy moves towards the dantian, the pelvis rounds in the back. And when we exhale, the pelvis expands in the front and the hips rotate outward in the socket like this. This is very good for stabilizing the body and getting the energy moving in and out of the body. So let's look at this as we go through I'll call it opening and closing, gather and release, as we go through, just following along from the back once again. So here, the hips gather, then the hips open. Hips gather, so this is what's happening here, then the hips open. The hips gather, hips open, ward off left. Here the hips gather. Let's just do the pelvis foot movements. The hips open, right push upward. The hips gather. The hips open, roll back. The hips gather. Press, the hips open. Push, the hips gather. The hips open. Fist under elbow. Gather. Open. Gather. Open. Step back in a pulse monkey. Gather. Open. Gather. Open. Gather. Open. Slanting flying. Gather. Open. Raise hands. Gather. Open. Stork spreads its wings. Gather. Open. Left brush knee. Gather. Open. Needle at sea bottom. Gather. Open. Fan through the back. Gather. Open. Turn and white snake puts out tongue. Gather. Open. Roll back. Gather. Press. Open. Push. Gather. Open. Single whip. Gather. open. Waving hands like clouds. Gather, open. Gather, open. Gather, open. Gather, open. Single whip. Gather, open. Fair lady. Gather, open. Gather, open. Gather, open. Gather, open. Ward off. Gather, open. Right push upward. Gather, open. Roll back. Gather, press, push. Single whip. Gather, open. Gather, open. Gather, open. Turn around. Gather, open. Gather, open. Step up, deflect downward. Gather, open. Withdraw and push. Gather, open. Conclusion. Gather, open. Gather, open. So I hope that you've kind of been enjoying this, and hopefully you find it useful, and I sure enjoy it too. So keep up your practice, and I'll be seeing you down the road. All right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.